What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today, just like yesterday, I will be going through my updated version of the conference tourney brackets. So, starting out with the Big 12. Yesterday we had Cincinnati beat Utah, Arizona State beat Baylor, and BYU beat Kansas State. And I picked Colorado to beat Oklahoma State, and I was wrong. So what's going to happen is each day, if you're new here, I will be updating my bracket. So if in one of the conferences I went a perfect 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 4 for 4, however many games there are that day in that conference, I will be, if I get a perfect score or perfect prediction, I will not be changing my predictions from the previous video. So if I do, I will mention if I go perfect in one conference, I will let you guys know. So if you want to see my predictions, feel free to go to the previous video to see those original predictions. But anyway, going forward here, so I did pick this game incorrect, the Colorado versus Oklahoma State. So I'm going to be adjusting my predictions in this bracket. So let's get right to it. So this game right now, UCF versus Cincinnati. I am going to be taking Cincinnati to win this game. Cincinnati has been playing very well recently, and I think they can get it done here against UCF. Here I'm going to take Iowa State over Arizona State. I will be taking BYU over West Virginia, and I'm going to be taking TCU over Oklahoma State. Then in the next round, I'm going to take Arizona over Cincinnati, although I think Cincinnati can spark a little magic in this game, but I don't see them pulling it off against one of the best teams in the nation in Arizona. Next up, we got Texas Tech versus Iowa State. This is a very tough game here. This is really a toss-up in my opinion. However, I am going to go with Iowa State. I am more confident in their ability to win a big game than Texas Tech can. But I would not be surprised if Texas Tech balls out and has a great day. So that's what makes these conference tourneys so fun, is that whoever shows up can really make a mark and prove why they deserve to be a better seed in the March Madness tournament. In the next game, Houston versus BYU, I'm going to take Houston. And then over here, I am very high on TCU, and I'm very tempted to take them, but I just feel like Kansas just can be one of the best teams in the nation when they're playing right, and I think they will figure it out here in the Big 12 tourney. So I am going to be taking Kansas here. Then the next round, I'm going to take Arizona, and I'm going to take Houston here. So some chalk with the 1v2 in the chip. However, I am going to take Houston in the chip to beat Arizona. So now we'll move on to the SWAC conference, where I did not get both of them right. So we will be updating this bracket here. So yesterday, I picked Alcorn State to beat Prairie View. That did not happen, and I unfortunately did pick Grambling to beat Jackson State. So I went 0 for 2 in this conference here, but let's move forward. So I am going to take Bethune-Cookman. Like I said in yesterday's video, they have that transfer from Texas. They are probably the most talented team. They are the most talented team here in this conference, and they should pretty easily take care of this conference. But let's keep moving forward here. I'm going to take Alabama A&M over Texas Southern. I'll be taking Florida A&M, and I'm going to take Arkansas Pine Bluff. And I'm going to take Florida A&M over Arkansas, and then Bethune-Cookman over A&M. And then I'm going to take Bethune-Cookman to win their conference pretty easily. Then going to the ACC, we had a couple of games yesterday. I correctly picked Pittsburgh to beat Stanford. I picked Virginia Tech to win this one, and I did pick SMU to win this one. So I went 2 for 3 yesterday from the ACC. So let's update the bracket now that we have these adjustments. I am going to take Florida State here to win this game. I'm going to take NC State over Pittsburgh, Clemson over Wake Forest, and I am going to take Louisville over SMU. Then on the next round, I'm going to take Duke over Florida State. I'm going to take Clemson over North Carolina. I am pretty high on Clemson. I think they can make a pretty sneaky run in the ACC tourney and solidify a pretty high seed in the March Madness tournament as well. And then I'm going to take NC State over Virginia. I'm not high on Virginia at all. And I'm going to take Louisville over Miami, Florida. Although Miami, I am also kind of high on, but I think Louisville, their guard play is just going to outmatch Miami's guard play. And I think Louisville will win this game. Then I'm going to take Duke over Clemson. And I'm going to take NC State over Louisville. Then in the ACC tourney, I will obviously be taking NC State. Nope, I'm just kidding. I do not see Duke losing a game. They are honestly the favorite to win the national championship, so there is no way I'll be taking them to lose in the ACC tourney. Then next up, we got the Big Ten. There were 2 games yesterday that I made predictions on, and I went 2 for 2. I picked Maryland over Oregon, and I did pick Northwestern over Penn State. So, with that being said, since I went a perfect score in this bracket, I will not be filling out this bracket once again. If you'd like to see my Big Ten predictions, please go back to yesterday's video or a previous video. It might have been in the first video to see my predictions going forward in the rest of this tournament. Then in the American East, just to give a quick update, if I can find it here, right here. I did go 2 for 2 in this conference too, but I will be giving you guys the update. So UMBC did beat UMass, and Vermont did beat NJIT. So I was correct in those 2 picks. Pretty obvious in my opinion. And then going forward in this game here, like I said, for the other tournaments, I would say go back to my previous video to see it. Since I went 2 for 2, I went perfect in this bracket. But I'll make my pick again here for you guys. I am actually going to pick Vermont to win the conference. In the next conference tourney, we have Conference USA. I did go, once again, perfect in this bracket. I did pick Missouri State over Florida International, and I did pick New Mexico State over Jacksonville State. So, if you'd like to see my predictions going the rest of the way, refer back to a previous video. Although, if I had to, off the top of my head, I'm 99% sure I picked Liberty to win this conference. I do like Western Kentucky in this conference, and that's really it. Sam Houston, small chance, but I think Liberty's the clear favorite here. Then in the CAA, I went perfect here. There was only 1 game. It was a championship. It was a great game. Monmouth put up a fight, but it was not enough against Hofstra. I think Hofstra is a really talented team and underrated. I think they probably have, in my opinion, one of the best chances for at among all the mid-majors to potentially win a game in March Madness. I think that they have the most complete team in Preston Ed Mead and Cruz Davis running the floor. And then they have Victor Onientu and Silas Sunday, 2 7-footers, and a bunch of other solid role pieces like German Platnikov, great shooter. I think they have the talent and they have the roster structure to, I think, pull off, something crazy in March, but we'll see. Moving on to the Southland Conference. Once again, I also went 2 for 2 here, although these were 2 crazy games to say the least. SF Austin and McNeese both with nail biters against these teams where I thought they would have just completely obliterated them. These were really, really good games to watch, and I got to say, both these teams here, Corpus Christi and Rio Grande, they put up a hell of a fight, and it honestly surprised me because I thought these 2 teams, like I said, would be able to just manhandle these teams, and that did not happen. So I'm a little concerned now. I wonder if this changes the trajectory for what seed these 2 teams can get. However, I do still think that these teams are really good enough to make a potential upset in March in the bracket, but I'm not sure now after these 2 performances. I know it's just 1 game, but I'm not too confident. However, if you guys recall from last video, I did pick SF Austin to win this conference. I am going to switch my pick now to McNeese. I think while they both didn't play that well against their teams yesterday, I think McNeese looked the best out of them, and I think they're more ready to play in March than SF Austin is. Now, moving on to the NEC. So, we already knew that LIU was going to make the tournament because Mercyhurst does not qualify for the March Madness bracket. However, I did pick LIU to win anyway, and they did. So, another win there. Moving on to the Horizon League. It was just 1 game. Obviously, the championship. I did pick Wright State to beat Detroit Mercy. Props to Detroit Mercy, though, after how bad they've been the past few years, to be able to make it to the championship in their conference and really change the trajectory of that team. I hope we can see them back in this situation next year. And like once again, 1-for-1 in this conference. Moving on to the WCC, I think as most people probably predicted here, Gonzaga did take care of business in this conference, taking down the number 3 seed Santa Clara. I did like the way Santa Clara played during this tournament. I think they pulled off 3 solid performances, and I think the committee should 100% recognize that, and I'm pretty sure Santa Clara, it's safe to say that they solidified a spot. I would say so in the tournament, which would be pretty crazy because that would mean then that we would have 3 teams from the WCC making the March Madness tournament in Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and Santa Clara. But we'll see what they end up deciding if Santa Clara gets a spot. Moving on to the MAC conference. This one game I did lose. I did predict Merrimack to win. They did not look good at all yesterday. Their guards were not able to penetrate that Siena defense. Siena did a great job defending the ball, and when they needed a big shot, they made it. So props to them. They'll be moving on to the tournament. Then, last but not least, we got the Big Sky Conference. So there were 2 games yesterday, and the 2 semifinals. Montana beat Portland State, and I did pick Portland State, so I got that one wrong. And I did pick Idaho to beat Eastern Washington, so that was a great pick by me. And I am tempted to take them again in the championship, and the percentage here, according to Odds Gods website, is predicting Idaho to win this game. However, I am going to go with Montana to take home the Big Sky Championship and move on to the March Madness tournament. So, with that all being said, guys, those are my updated predictions moving forward in these conference tourney brackets. Lots of great games coming up. We got some high major teams playing today, and as well as some mid-major semifinals and finals. So be sure to tune in to those games. I don't think there'll be a letdown, to say the least. And thank you guys for watching. Feel free to leave your comments down below. I enjoy reading any comments that you guys may have, whether you agree with my picks, disagree, or if you have anything else to say, that'll be great. Any other suggestions? With that being said, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with my updated picks.